everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And I'm watching the screen intently now.
Welcome to our last show for a week. We're taking a week off.
Miss us.
Well, we will be here for happy hour Saturday, but we don't take questions at happy hour. That's just a single card message from Spirit. So
Right, but I'm off to Fun and Games in Chicago next week and will not... Okay, I'm going to watch right now. I'm going to keep watching.
Hi, Mr. M.
Thank you so much. You're so nice. Banshee will make suitable patter.
I'm just looking at the screen too, but you know what? Mine always comes after you, so you're
I know,
going to
because
see
your
it
timing's
first.
a little bit off. I just have to watch it when it happens.
Fire Spawn, hi.
Well, we have a couple widgets when you donate or when you subscribe. A little animation will flash across the screen and it probably will have your name on it. And it's fun. We used to have a person who came here more often, and I think she liked to give us donations just so she could see the little squiggle. And of course, we didn't mind that at all.
Well, at any... Oh, wait a minute here. Okay. Well, at any rate, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, guess what, Violet? I went out to the mailbox to look for this deck I was waiting for. Desperate.
Oh, there it is. It's real tiny. It's over your head when it shows up.
Okay.
See?
Oh my gosh, it's so small.
Okay, I have to make it bigger. I've been trying to make it bigger, but thank you, Mr. Maurice.
We can see it's you.
Yeah, we can see the tiny little name and a little
The
purple
little
cat.
little cat.
It's a little purple cat jumping up and down.
Ah, that's really nice.
Now, if anybody gives us $1,000, then it's real big.
He's lying.
I'm lying.
All right. Well, anyway, we have a birthday reading, and we're going to get to it. But I wanted to tell you, Violet, I run out to my mailbox, and it's not there, and I'm dejectedly coming back. Meanwhile, on a main road that I can see over a hill, I see a UPS truck. And I thought, it's just passing my place by. It could have entered my place. But it went around the other way, and by the time I got settled here and just checked the door one more time, it was sitting there. I haven't even gotten to look at it yet. I got to look at the lovers, up to the lovers card. Jeez, I was hoping to use it tonight if it had come early.
Well, let's get this show going.
It's a very beautiful deck. It's called the Unfolding Path Tarot. Let's get the show on the road with our birthday girl who may not be here, but it's Violet Ann, and we told her we would do her birthday reading at the start of this show so she could find it.
Yeah,
So,
her birthday was actually yesterday, and she's a friend of ours. She has her own wonderful show. We get to pop in there once in a while. We're at different times of the day.
So, friend or colleague, social media friend. But at any rate, she's, every time we do a birthday reading, we move the person up to the front of our show. So let's get going with it. Do you want to use the deck or do you want me to grab it?
Sure, I'm going to use my Uncommon Tarot for that.
Okay. It's rather uncommon of you. At least it arrived. Yes, I've been waiting for days. It was delayed. It's very beautiful. I do have to say. You might see me sneaking a glance here and there, like I am now. Well, it'll just have to wait to be used. Oh, he shuffled quickly, so I could not get a glance. Thanks, Mr. O.
You got it,
I'm
sweetie.
glad you put your energy in there.
You got it, sweetie.
Thanks, Mr. M. I think it's a nice reading. I finally got it right, I think.
Oh, thank you.
A couple of attempts at making different birthday readings.
You know, a good birthday reading is like that, Mr. Maurice. You should be able to look back on it and chart it, and, sometimes everything about it is really correct or resonates, or sometimes it doesn't.
And I know I did not do an oracle reading for the collective.
I know.
So perhaps I will do that after this reading.
Well, when I said let's get the show going, I figured you would know that.
Well,
No, you don't.
All right. So Violet Ann is literally up first.
Mm-hmm. All right, card 1. Please explain.
It's the gift that Violet Ann received last year that she can use to make the most out of this year.
And it is strength reversed.
Well, you know what? I guess you learned, Violet Ann, the gift that you received is this idea, this concept of, if you want something bad enough, you have to be assertive about it sometimes. You have to really kind of, I don't want to say push your weight around, but, throw a little weight on it, let's just say. Don't sit back, state it, make it known, go for it.
The gift of last year was that sometimes gentle persuasion is nice,
Yeah.
but sometimes you have to be a little bit more direct.
Sometimes the direct approach is the best.
Card
That's
2.
right. Card 2, the gift of the present moment.
It's the reversed 5 of Swords. Ah! Well, I don't know about that.
Well, I don't know either, Violet Ann. I don't know what you're going through. But, this is a card that's usually a sense and a feeling that you're in a no-win situation right now, or you will be soon. It's the present moment. So the gift of this moment is, what do you do when you're faced with something that just seems to have no end in sight or no win apparent? You either do things to try to come, to try to make it happen, or you just walk away. In particular, if this has to do with any kind of arguments or disagreements with people, sometimes you just can't find common ground, especially in this world today. So it just might be the best thing to do rather than keep duking it out is to just walk away.
I like that, Banshee, because, usually on most depictions of the 5 of Swords, whether it's upright or reversed, it can be very similar. Hi, Kara. And so the idea, of somebody walking away, maybe they don't walk away as a winner, but they walk away. They don't walk away in pain or with a leg cut off or something like that. And I'm being overly dramatic, but the gift of the present moment is realizing when, you really should just not put your energy anymore into a situation.
And maybe you've already been through this and you're in the process of the walk away, or deciding enough. So that could be happening too.
Okay, card 3.
Okay, card 3 is the gift from your connections with others in the next year. Are all your cards reversed? Jeez.
10 of Cups reversed. I don't like it.
Well, which makes me wonder, it does make me wonder if this 5 of Swords moment is something where you've just decided you have to move on. You have to walk away from something because there's unhappiness there. So and the 5 of Swords definitely is a card of connecting with others, So I think here that...
Well, the gift from your connections could also be the sense, too, of that you really can sort through them and say, these are things that really maybe they're time to, be thought of differently. This is not saying you go through your little black book or something and just throw out everything that doesn't work. Yeah, you just
check off names or
But
X
it may
them
be
out.
that there's a sense of knowing from who your connections are, who are the ones you can count on and who are the ones who maybe are just there and not necessarily, super good friends that will do anything for you, get up in the middle of the night and come rescue you, etc. All right.
Card number 4, let's see what you have.
It's the Hermit upright.
The gift that will help you work on, achieve, or move forward towards your dreams and goals. It's if you really need to move forward on your dreams and goals, you're going to need some quiet time, some time alone. Hey, maybe you'll have some of that with what's going on with your connections here. But, it just seems as though you need some quiet time and maybe some time for some study or self-reflection, in order to keep working on what it is you truly desire.
Well, the Hermit represents a person or a kind of quality about really finding those answers within Excuse me, but it takes time and a special place of mind. That's that gift, is being able to take that moment in time and go into yourself as you need to work on issues for yourself in solitude or not necessarily. You can be alone in a crowd, you know, you can be lost in a crowd, but still have a sense of being alone.
Well, I have to say, this is a good card. Hey, it's the first.
I like it. It's your first good card.
Well, that's not true. Strength is really good either way, in my opinion, depending on what cards it's surrounded by. All right, so card 5 is the gift from your spirit guides and or ancestors. What do they want you to know or keep in mind in the next year?
It's the Three of Wands, and it's reverse. We're back to the reverse of Palooza, and maybe the ancestors are saying what you may have thought was your moment in time, your opportunity, is not quite here yet. They may be saying it's not here yet. They want you to keep paying attention to things, but the opportunity that you may think you're waiting for has not quite presented itself. It's not to say that it won't. It's just saying the ancestors want you to kind of be aware of it coming when it does come.
The gift from your ancestors is that they advise you, to be more flexible, to be willing to pivot when things are not working out the way that you want them to. So their gift to you is to say that, if you feel like things are not going your way, be prepared to pivot. They're there by your side one way or the other, and they would rather see you succeed rather than hold on to plans or projects that are not working.
And finally,
the gift this year ultimately gives to you, Violet. What lessons have you learned, or what progress or growth has been achieved?
we pulled it out for you. It's the upright Ace of Wands.
Wow.
It's fabulous.
I don't even know what to say after all that, though, because it is a struggle all year. But
Yeah.
I will say this, that the Ace of Wands indicates that you will grow this year. Something will grow in your life. Whether it's going to be a relationship after some travails in your, interpersonal world, or whether it's your business, your business ambitions and goals. It just seems like some fresh start, some new growth is going to be achieved and get off the ground. But remember, it just isn't going to grow on its own. You're truly going to have to put some, elbow grease behind it to make it happen.
The wands have a great resonance towards new things and towards the spring of things, the ideas of growth behind things, no matter when that happens. And I think that's the gift the year ultimately gives to you, is to realize that a lot of things are in a cycle for you, and that some seasons will be growthful seasons. And I'm not saying this correlates with the season of the year. I'm saying that at some point, ultimately, the year will give you a spring, the Violet Ann spring, where she springs forth, having accumulated, various lessons, understood what, the various connections gave her, the various ancestors gave.
So just in a brief look back at it all, Violet, and it looks as though there are some struggles, in certain areas. I don't feel strength reversed is one of them. I think what this is saying is, don't be afraid to push your own agenda. Don't be afraid to, be your own best advocate with strength reversed there. Don't be afraid to shout yourself out. And the gift of the present moment is basically, sometimes when we lose, I have to say this in a positive way too, sometimes when we lose, we win. Some victories aren't worth the struggle to get there. And sometimes I think that's the message of the Five of Swords as well. It's better to just walk away and admit defeat rather than stoop to somebody else's level, right, Mr. O?
I agree. I'm sorry, I had to do something.
No. I just wanted to ask your assessment of that one. I'm perfectly capable of doing this without you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, the show's yours. I'll be back in a month.
Yeah, the gift. Okay, so that was the gift of the present moment. Your connections with others. Well, Mr. O kind of called it on that one. I mean, it's really disappointing for partnerships and relationships or friendships. It just seems like you have a sense of unfulfillment from the people around you. Your connections overall this year.
Well, to me, the gift of the connection, so I'm sort of looking at as your awareness of who it is that
Right.
really matters or can count for you in your life as opposed to who isn't. This isn't saying really like, they're all rubbish, you're throwing them away. That would be my life. No, I'm
Right.
teasing.
Maybe you find out this year. I like that, Mr. O, because maybe, in a sense, Violet Ann, what this is saying is you find out this year who your true friends and family are. Right? Card 5, the gift from spirit guides and or ancestors. And we had that 3 of Wands there. And I just feel it's a call to you to pivot. If your plans aren't working out, if plans are failing, don't be afraid to pivot and make maneuvers to either shore them up or move on to something else.
Exactly. I couldn't say anything more about that, really. I mean, I think it's really the sense of knowing when is the right moment, or maybe just being aware that sometimes you have to have a little patience. You have to wait for the opportunity to truly be there, or for you to be able to change or alter plans too sometimes. That's what you get from them.
And ultimately, the gift this year ultimately gives to you is growth. There will be growth. There will be a new beginning for you in some sector of your life. It could be relationship. It could be career, financial. It looks positive.
It could be a few things.
So, gosh, Violet Ann, you got some struggles,
Happy
but
birthday.
you got a few good things there. I wish you the best and happy birthday to you.
All right.
All right, on with the show.
And Estelle is up, and I noticed that we've been trying to reach Estelle.
That's
but
okay. Give Estelle a moment because I'm going to do my oracle
A
for the collective. Estelle, if you're not here by the time and writing your question, by the time I'm done with this oracle for the collective, we're moving on. All right.
Card for the collective.
And I'm using the Celebrity Spirit Oracle that I recently got. We're going to let Mr. O pick one.
It reminds me of that one deck with the Hierophant rising up.
Oh,
Remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
yes, I know you're talking about light seers. What you got?
I know you did, Violet. Okay, how interesting.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse.
27.
You're all drunk.
Hey,
Stay
hey.
truthful and brave. Okay, sorry.
She is all about staying truthful and brave. And the meaning is when we get this card, it is saying to take note of the addictive habits you have in your life and their destructive patterns. It is time to own this and know that you have a strong spirit to overcome it. Also to be aware of using, of using your sexual energy to achieve the things you want in your life, as everything has its consequences. The positive aspect of this archetype is its underlying vulnerability and its power to open wide a heart that is capable of deep love. As many stories portray, once the gigolo meets his match, he has also found his mate. But his match, in keeping with the profile of this pattern, must have emotional independence and the self-esteem to be immune to his manipulative skills. Well, I don't even know here other than, do pay attention to habits that could be destructive in your response to them. You are stronger than you think, but don't be so afraid to ask for help if you need it.
I like that. I was not very familiar with this artist, but I understand their very important sense of being,
Contributions, too.
and the contributions, right? All right, so I see Info Entertainment has joined
Hello,
us.
Info Entertainment. Yes, we'll get you on the list. It's a long list. So if you can't stay, leave your question and we'll still do it.
And we are going to move on to Ladybug because Estelle's had a lot
Estelle
of time.
has not answered at all. So we're moving on. And
I hate to say it, but Estelle, we've talked about this before.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Ladybug had a question. Ladybug Light, welcome to our show. who the spirit or spirits are that come to my home and what they want because I don't know how to communicate with them. All right. Your deck?
How can you tell me who the spirit... Oh, wow.
It's that orange one at the top of
What's
it.
right here? Violet has it.
But there's the orange one just above too.
Whatever. I got it.
Uh-huh. Grab a deck and do it.
I'm doing it.
And where's the
I think I'll
Lenormand?
use the crow deck for this.
And where's the Lenormand?
Where is the Lenormand? Why, it's right here, Mr. O. Why don't you shake him up?
Hi, SP.
Hey, SP, we'll get you on the list. All right, I'm going to use the Crow Tarot. MJ Kuhnes. Don't break them.
They're not gonna break.
I don't know about you sometimes.
I never know about you either.
All right. Let's see what we've got.
We know what you're talking about, Kara. Okay, first card is the Fool reversed. Followed by the Page of Swords, upright.
Oh.
And then followed by the Four of Swords reversed.
Well, they're very active, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It does seem that way. That's especially noted by the Four of Swords reversed. I wonder if...
So has this been long term or is this just a recent thing, if I may ask? You can answer, we can read on, but I'm wondering about that because it's something I see here. I could read two ways.
Well,
Go ahead.
I wonder if it's possible that they are maybe earthbound spirits as opposed to nature spirits, you know, because the Four of Swords has a maybe possible connotation of somebody who passed away. And so, you know, the spirit is surviving is a sense of the Four reversed. But that's a maybe, you know, that's just a little quality I felt there.
I feel the Four of Swords reversed is more about their activity level.
True.
And it does seem as though, you know, you probably sense them around quite a bit because it seems like they're active in some way. And I'm not talking in terms of, oh, they're opening your cupboards or throwing things out on the ground or anything
But
like
I do think that there's something mischievous going on with the Fool reversed.
anything like that. Well, we'll talk about that, or do you want to talk first?
Well, we both have been talking. You can continue.
Okay. The Fool reversed to me, see, that's what I was wondering if it was long-term or if it's recent. But I feel the Fool reversed to me could be one of two things. I'm wondering about if you know the history of where you live, and if somebody, you know, I'm not sure this person necessarily died on the property, but I get the feeling that they may have been involved in some accident or some kind of unfortunate demise. And, you know, because the Fool can be about reckless acts a little bit. So, you know, a car crash comes to mind, or, you know, it could be a fall or something at home. I just wonder if they're restless because they haven't been able to accept, you know, the way that they had passed on.
But doesn't it seem like maybe with that page there that this is about a message too?
What I wanted to say about the page is that I feel like you should be able to find a way to communicate with them. I'm not sure we're going to be able to see that in this reading, but let me see what Mr. O has with the
Well,
Lenormand.
it's interesting because our first Lenormand is the child. And the second one, yeah, I know, is the letter, which is, of course, about communication. So, of course, an obvious thing would be, could it be a child spirit? But the other part could be also saying that maybe there's going to have to be a real slow, cautious move towards communication, or that the spirit will slowly communicate.
Oh my gosh. Well, we were asking you all sorts of questions, Ladybug.
Yeah, we have a couple questions.
But you know, we'll talk more about this, but let's just look at the child, the letter, and the Page of Swords. I think they are trying to communicate with you in their own way, and it's, you know,
It's okay.
I would say take it cautiously and slowly, because because the child is here, and that kind of says be careful. But I can't help but wonder too if this isn't indicating that the spirit is a young spirit, you know, and that, you know, they could have died accidentally somehow, and not necessarily in the home, but maybe they lived there once upon a time or on that land, and they died suddenly, accidentally, and they're still not able to, you know, find their way to the light. And I do want to just bring up the other thing I said, Ladybug, is that with that Four of Swords, I feel like you must sense them around a lot. There's some activity, and I did say it's not like I expect that, you know, things are falling off of shelves or anything really serious, unless you point that out to me. But I do feel that in their own way they're active, and you know they're there.
Right. It may be that they do, in fact, want to communicate in some way, so it may be that you have to really figure out how you can do that. Another thing to do, besides Violet's suggestions, which are nice ones, would be to maybe leave small offerings in an area where you think they're most likely present. And that could just be something small and sweet, or a flower, or something, you know, pretty, and you just leave it there, and it's an offering.
Yeah, maybe where you notice the most activity, perhaps. And, you know, don't be afraid to talk to it out loud. And also, if needs be, set some nice boundaries and just say, hey, you know, I'm living here now. You are welcome to stay, but, you know, these are the rules. I truly believe, you know, that does make a difference, is to just say, let's coexist. Or, you know, if they need to move on, that's another thing too. You could tell them it is safe for them to leave.
Ah, okay, that's interesting. Well, we would like to
Yeah.
maybe take it up some other time too with more questions about that. But hopefully this kind of gives you a little bit of insight into their nature. It doesn't seem like they're incredibly harmful at this point.
If they're not a child, they could have been they might be a younger adult kind of spirit. But that Fool reversed really indicates to me that something went wrong in their life, maybe. And it's possible, like I said, they were in a car accident. It could have been off property. They didn't have to necessarily die on the land, but that they lived there. So they're familiar. And I don't know how long this has been happening, if this is just recent activity that's popped up. So if, you know, you might want to look and see if there were any accidents in your area, you know, in recent years where, you know, something may have, may have come into your home from that.
All right.
It's the best we can do with this reading. It did point out a few things. I wish you luck with that. And you can go ahead and rewind and listen to the rest of this.
Yeah, you can always come back and ask more questions, or you can always write to us at our email.
We're going to be off for a week, though, but we will be back. I hope that helped a little bit.
It's not always easy, that's for sure. You're welcome. And our email, if you want to give us a line and maybe we can chat with you, is TFT Tarot for Today, that's one word, at gmail.com. We may not do a reading for you that way, but we might be able to answer questions or just give you some ideas.
All right, I think we are on Enchantress, am I right?
Possibly.
Enchantress.
All right. So Enchantress is
Hi,
up.
Enchantress. If you're still here, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Violet.
Shazab offer Noor a commitment. Okay.
Okay.
Do you
How
want
do
to
you
do
do
it? And how do you
Well,
want
it's
to
my
do
deck.
it? Yes, no?
It's my deck.
I know. How do you want to do it?
I could do it as a yes or no.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Then go to it, Mr. O.
And I'm going to use the Ancestral Path Tarot.
Oh.
Thanks, Enchantress. We got it.
All right. Oh, jeez. Let me fix this. It's going to take me a minute now. All right. Let's figure this out.
So it is not leaning towards yes, it's more likely leaning towards no. There's two other cards here, Death reversed, and then the Emperor upright, which I find interesting because they have some resonance towards each other in a way. I would say that maybe there's a sense of something really having an inertia quality about it, like somebody doesn't feel they can push themselves into this. They're just really having a hard time motivate. Or there may in fact be other possible external factors that are inhibiting this offering of a commitment going forward. The Emperor may be looking at an idea that somebody feels that they're maintaining control, but they're not necessarily exactly ready to decide something. They might be trying to still pull in other information or energies that might help them.
You know, Death reversed seems to indicate to me that things are stalled. That for some reason things are stalled. Let's see.
The situation is complex.
The situation is complex, yeah. Things are stalled and somebody is controlling the process. Whether it's,
Shabazz or Nor.
Shabazz, okay. One of them is being too controlling here and is stalling the process for some reason. I don't know if it's something they're either waiting on or that they're demanding that is stalling it. But let me toss the Lenormand as well to show you another issue I have here.
Okay, and so you're one of these people and you're in separation, as you say.
I see.
Okay, so we have the Sith in Lenormand, and then we also have the Tower. And of course, since you mentioned separation, I assume this is a legal possible situation, which of course the Tower can talk about legal institutions like marriage or things.
Well, or if you're just separated as a, single couple. Whatever the case may be here, I feel that there is a cutting of ways here. The Tower can be legalities, like he said. It could also be about marriage, like a separation instead of a marriage, because the Scythe cuts away at things. And so there's something cutting away at this union or this bonding on even a more legitimate level. In other words, love and romance and being together as a couple is one thing, but to have that legal commitment's another. And, so this sometimes speaks of marriage as well as other legalities, and it does seem like there's something that's cutting away at that. So it must be your separation right now, and I don't see that changing, at the moment with the cards that we have drawn. It just seems like it's stagnating right now, and somebody is either holding out or controlling, maybe trying to manipulate the situation to their advantage. The Emperor is usually a positive card, but with the Death card and with the way these other things lined up, I don't think it's a positive here.
I'm not sure if you should put forth the effort.
No, I don't think so. I think you should let things stand. You might, the thing is, if it's going to keep you waiting or hanging for a long period of time, then maybe you do need to confront it for your own well-being to find out one way or another if it's really going to happen or not. But right now, this isn't looking very positive.
I alluded to the idea before that the Emperor sometimes is a person who needs to take in other information from people they trust. And I feel that could be part of this, is that there could be some things you still need to know or you need to absorb as knowledge. Or maybe they do. Maybe there's some point that they're not getting and that they need to absorb something before they can really move ahead too on for what it's worth.
And unless there's some creepy, dangerous situation going on, I always recommend dialogue over silence. Because with silence, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And so, for your own peace of mind, even if it's bad news, it's better to know than to not know. And if this person never lets you know, then I would say you have your answer, and you should just set a boundary, set a time frame, and decide to move on from there.
I believe we're still open, Mary.
Yep, Mary, we can take you. That's
All right,
what we have
Enchanted.
for you. Good luck with that. Hope to see you again
Good
sometime.
luck, and thanks for coming tonight.
Foxy Empress is up.
And I'm just going to briefly post that normally we are here Thursdays and Sundays to answer questions. This Sunday we're not, because we're going on vacation, but that's our normal schedule. We're always here on Thursdays and Sundays. We rarely take the night off. Ooh, okay. No, that's fine. Go ahead, Mary. Hopefully it's all good. Who was up now, Foxy?
Yeah, Foxy.
So, Foxy, if you're there, give us your question, too.
So, Foxy, I saw what you said about the weather. I sympathize, but you know what? I always like temperatures in the 70s to swim in. I'm kind of crazy that way, or go to the beach. I don't like it too hot. I just don't. So, and now I can't do any of that because I got to watch out for skin cancer risk because of my other cancer. So, no beaches for me anymore. Yeah, Mary, I'm sorry to hear you're in the hospital.
Hope it's not serious.
All right, I will get that on the list.
Oh, Foxy. Don't let us move on to the next person. Normally I would do some patter about our shows coming up, but since there aren't going to be any shows coming up, there's no sense in doing that. We are going to be off for about a week. Our last live show will be Happy Hour on Friday, and it's just a simple poll. It's not questions. The Emotional Exchanges is on tomorrow at 7 a.m., but there's no other programs. There's no Weird Week. There's no Goth Tarot next week. Gotta wait for the week after.
Yeah, I gotta watch my heart and stroke risk with my blood cancer. That's my main problems. I'm glad you're getting it taken care of. That's great news.
And I think we're gonna have to put Foxy at the bottom of the list if they show up again.
Yeah, they may not. I don't know. Maybe they were
And I'm sorry about that.
tired of waiting.
As a general notice, if you're coming here and we're a little gabby, so we get it. You don't want to necessarily wait around for your turn, but if you don't leave your question and you're not here when we ask for it, we'll give you a few moments, but we will have to move on. And there's no guarantee you can get back for a reading if it's later. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know much about that either, stenosis, but hey, it's good you're getting that taken care of. Absolutely. Good luck with that.
Scorpio 1-800 or something like that. You are up. Hopefully you're here. There you are.
1180. There you are. General love reading for the next 2 months. Okay.
All right. Yes, we can do that.
will
Is it
grab a deck.
your deck?
Yep.
All right. So, hey, Scorpio, 1180. I like
Yep.
that. Thanks, Violet. And Mr. Maurice, I figured out why it was so tiny. I had to actually stretch it on my studio screen. So the next time anyone donates, it should show up nice and large.
That's right. Tell Mr. Maurice he has to donate again to see it bigger.
It's
No, you
it's
don't.
a pretty little purple cat. You want to see it. Or someone else does.
Oh my gosh. You're funny. Oh boy. I have my own issues. I should probably talk to my doctor about too. But I think some of it's just being out of shape, so I'm working on it. But I do have to be careful now. I have to take an aspirin a day because of stroke, heart attack risk.
Thank you, Mr. Maurice. I just looked at the donation, and thank you very much. So nice of you. Really appreciate that.
All right.
What's up?
Scorpio 1180 starts off with the King of Swords reversed.
King of Swords reversed.
Looks like this is my reversa-palooza. The King of Pentacles reversed.
Uh-oh, another king.
High Priestess upright.
Holy cow.
I know. Well, love reading general for the next 2 months. What do you got with the Lenormand? That doesn't look good.
I have the scythe again. Our friend the scythe, the little pointy scythe, and the book.
Well, that's kind of odd.
Well, I wonder if one thing, and I'm just getting this from the Lenormand, I'm just hopping there because it's sort of calling to me, is will you be finding that you need to see who it is you do not want to be with, who you want to remove from your life? Because I sort of feel the book is finding out what to cut. That's how I look at that.
Well, you know, if you're not in a relationship now, it's possible you might meet someone, or if you are in a relationship now, it just seems as though there's problems with somebody. And I have to say that, you know, yeah, that's probably why you've got that psych there, because you're going to want to be doing some cutting. I think there's somebody who is just rather manipulative. Is that the king, right? The King of Swords?
They're both kings. One's the pentacles and one's the swords.
Oh, Pentacle and Sword, the King of Swords and Pentacles.
Yeah.
You know, this is a very odd combination. This is somebody who is rather manipulative, and this is somebody who is rather argumentative, and it's not a good combination, you know, or forceful. So I really think that you're going to really give this some thought, but your gut is going to tell you to cut and run from this.
And that's the High Priestess
literally.
along the book.
And yeah, I mean, the High Priestess holds a book, right? In some
right.
in some versions.
It almost sounds like the question about your love life is sort of extracting yourself from either one you don't want to have or one that potentially you realize is suffocating or controlling. And so it may be that there's nothing really on the horizon other than dealing with this, is what it looks like.
Yeah. I honestly think this is a very, you know, like I said,
It's
if you
pretty
were
specific.
If it's very specific. So I don't know if you're in a relationship now or you're dating somebody now, but somebody may come along and they're going to be kind of pushy, and they're going to be kind of wanting to kind of manipulate to get their way. And I would just say follow your gut on this one, but I think your gut is going to tell you to cut ties.
Well, the other thing too, I think, is that the High Priestess could also be a part of their thinking too, you know, the sense of being in control, being orderly, and maybe saying that they're not revealing all their cards either.
This could be somebody who's an air sign, we have two kings here, which to me indicates it's somebody who's a bit more, should be more mature. Let's just say age-wise as opposed to, appear-wise, because I don't see a lot of maturity in behavior like that. So I just don't like the sounds of this. Maybe being single for the next 2 months is a better option.
If it wasn't about a specific relationship that you may be in now or that may be near you, this could just be saying that for the next 2 months, the kind of prospects you might meet are really kind of controlling or divisive in certain ways, and that you may feel that there's an energy. And 2 months is longer than the Mercury retrograde, but that really, Mercury retrograde for the next 3 to 5 weeks, whatever it's going to be, can really be messing with how people communicate with each other too. So it's also possible some of this could just be about how we don't understand each other. I'd say lay low for 2 months.
So, Scorpio, I wish I had better news, but that's what we see here. It does seem awfully suspicious, specific. The only other thing, if I had to get less specific, because I wonder about this, is just to be very mindful of the decisions you make, in relationships up and coming. Trust your gut, don't just run, don't just be too, well, I've said be very mindful. Don't just be careless about who you decide to date, because there could be consequences here.
Right.
So,
the information about elemental or signs is as general as we can kind of sense it. We don't necessarily know for sure, but that's interesting that you mention that.
yeah.
Like we said, it may not be specific at all, but it may be a general idea that there's just, some sort of dissent in the air with regard to, people you might meet.
Well, you never know. That air sign might pop back in, but if not, this is just I'd say a warning that if you are single and not dating at the moment, to be advised that, don't move too fast on things. Really check people out. The book is here, and whenever we do research, you just don't do research in 10 minutes. You got to spend some time in the books. And so, you got to spend some time. And that's
even the High Priestess,
right,
too.
In a way. But the High Priestess can be a little bit more immediate in that you get gut feelings, And if something doesn't feel right about somebody you meet, don't go there. That's the best I can tell you right now. I wish I had better news for you, but that's what the cards have. Good luck with that. And remember, right now, this month in particular, Mercury is about to go retrograde, so that could mess up things a lot too.
Hey Libra, I hope your little one is feeling better.
Hey Libra. Well, the other one got it too. Yeah.
Ooh, rough.
All right, so we are on
Mr. Maurice, who would like a reading
hey,
for
Mr. M.
the general reading for the next 2 months. Alrighty, so let's see, what should I use? I will use the Tarot of the Mermaids. That's a crappy feeling, Libra. I hate that. I have problems sleeping on my back because when I sleep on my back, I sort of get some sort of drain, and then all of a sudden I feel like I'm not able to breathe. So I have to sleep on my side or I'll choke to death in my sleep, maybe. I don't know.
To answer something that Mary the Aries said to me earlier, it's funny. I've been doing chair yoga now for weeks. I've been working with a trainer at the gym, and I can bike and I can use the elliptical there. But just walking to the mailbox sometimes really exhausts me, which really bothers me. So I got to talk to my doctor about some of this. I don't understand
You're welcome.
how some exercise, I have no problems, even aerobic, but other times, and I think some of it is because I have back pain too that kind of wears me down. So I've been working on that. That's been getting stronger since I've been doing yoga and the training. So you're right, though. I think I'm going to start walking more just to build that up.
Okay, Mr. Maurice, thank you again. And our first card is the Reversed Hermit.
What was the question?
General reading for the next 2 months.
Okay.
The next card is the reverse King of Chalices or Cups. And then the Six of Swords upright.
Ooh, I like that.
So the next 2 months, well, you may be feeling that, what you've been holding inside, you need to take that out somehow. So maybe you need somebody to confide in or talk to, or maybe you just need to, go to a place up in a hill and scream, just let it out. There's something that you want to let out that you maybe have been holding back in. Maybe it's a more reserved feeling, but don't be afraid to be a little wild if you need to be. Maybe this is involving about situations you will find out that will make you feel like you're sort of distancing from other people or situations. It may be only temporary, but you may be feeling a little bit aloof.
The Hermit's reversed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're actually going to be socializing a little more. I'm sorry. I beg to differ with Mr. O. I kind of feel that is a call to, like, come out of your, maybe you have been, maybe you've been feeling just so wrapped up about other issues and things in your life. You've been thinking too much on it, that it's time for you to come back out. The world is waiting for you, and it's just saying, come back out, if not socialize, just to be out more. And I feel here, what is that again?
That's the King of Cups.
That's right, the King
reversed.
of Cups reversed. Because it may improve your mood. The King of Cups reversed is showing that, there's some disappointment. There's a lack of joy right now, in some area of your life, and it's spilling over. I think it's spilling over into other areas, and so, you need maybe more people around you. And look at here. You have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a call to move from things that have been sorrowful or have not been working out for you to conditions that are better. Even the unknown, some people don't like to leave the familiar. Some people don't want to leave, even if things are negative. They'd rather stay where they are than move into unfamiliar territory. But, this promises to be a better place for you. So I think there's movement involved here, and let's see what this has to say.
The clouds and the rider, easy rider.
Which is also about movement. Funny that. But it is facing the dark clouds. And again, I almost feel like there's a hesitation here. There's a hesitation because you're wrapped up in something, that's making you just kind of, stuck.
Well, maybe despite the fact that things don't feel as emotionally gratifying for you on whatever level, you're just not liking things, that you feel like you're persevering and you are moving towards another option. It may not be an option that at the beginning of the 2 months, but maybe it's something that kind of, because whether the Hermit is upside or down, and I agree with Banshee, I was sort of off there still is an internal process going on about how you conceptualize things happening to you, whether you're out there with everyone or whether you're in there with yourself. So you're thinking about all of that and realizing that you can still move on to get past whatever is grumbling you, and I think that that's also represented, I agree with Banshee, by the rider and the clouds. You're going to just move through this over the next 2 months. You're going to really realize that sometimes you have to be out there. Maybe you have to try to be a little bit more interactive with people if you're normally not talking to people. People don't always want to share their problems, but maybe you want to be interactive.
It's almost as if you're really uncertain where you want to go, what you want to do, but you really know this change is necessary and that you would probably feel better if you made a change. It's just a matter of, trying to sort it out inside. I almost feel this clouds ties in quite nicely with this King of Cups reversed, right? Because it's about depression or being down or just feeling, like there's this dark cloud following you. And I think better conditions await. Maybe Mr. O is right in saying that maybe 2 months from now, you will find, you're moving to a better place, that things are moving, conditions are improving.
Sure hope so.
Me too. I wish you luck with that.
Thanks again.
Good luck. And thank you. And honestly, next time, whoever donates, you'll see a bigger cat.
You're welcome. General for the next 2
All
months
right,
for
Sherry.
Sherry.
All right.
We ought to just do generals. No.
Get the clarity out.
So if you follow TFT Tarot for Today on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, X, we do a daily card of the day there. We actually do two. We do an oracle card of some sort, and then we do a regular daily card. Those are going to go on. We're pretty sure we'll be able to finish those for the next week or so that we're not doing the video stuff.
Are we doing my material show or not? It might not happen.
I think it might happen, but I
Okay.
think it might happen with a surprise.
Uh-oh.
A real big surprise. See, we know who people really like here, so I'm going to be on your show as your special guest. You just invited me and I just accepted.
Okay.
There's nothing you can say.
There's always a party crasher, isn't there?
I'll turn off your mic.
All right. Let's see what we have for Sherry for the next 2 months. Why is everything reversed today? But this is not a bad one. It's the Four of Wands reversed. And this could be worse if it was upright. It's the Ten of Swords reversed. Holy moly, these cards today. But thankfully, we have the World upright.
Okay, and you're going to like what I got then. Because I got the Lenormand Stars
Yay!
and the Lily.
Aww.
Which I think is really nice one to have with the stars. Am I right?
Yes, it is.
All right.
I think at worst here, okay, for the next 2 months, maybe it's something that you were hoping for or working on, whether it's a relationship that, you know, you're trying to move to another level maybe, or, you know, there's something in your business or your personal goals. You know, that there is some setbacks. There had been some setbacks. I don't know. You know, sometimes we build up setbacks more than we should. The Ten of Swords is indicating here reverse, though, that there's going to be a recovery from this. You know, I don't know if this means that maybe somebody, you know, there's some betrayal. Maybe somebody betrays your trust. Maybe some relationship you thought was on solid ground wasn't quite as solid. And now maybe there's some arguments or disruptions that has been causing some pain. But it looks as though the Ten of Swords is reversed and there's a recovery from this. It's as if you're dusting yourself off and either saying, okay, how can I fix this? How can we fix this? Or, okay, I'm ready to move on now to better things.
Well,
I'm going to stop there before
this
I get to
is
the world.
where I disagree with Banshee because I think this is
what?
more about the future, not about what has happened. So I feel that the Four of Wands is saying you are okay because you are recovering. This is in the future. It's whatever that might be has already happened. You're going to move on from there. Four of Wands, maybe somebody who was a problem that was closer to you will move away because you'll realize that they were the person who was doing that. And so the result really does come to a sense of completing things. Maybe that was something that needed to happen to kind of move them away from you. It's going to probably happen over this next 2 months. And I really feel there's a sense of something greater with the Lenormand, but I'll let Banshee catch up.
Yeah, I guess you should. But, you know, I'm going to say that obviously I feel a recovery's in progress in these 2 months. I didn't say it's happening now, but a recovery will be underway. This is what I think may be something that's on a continuum here that's leading, you know, that you maybe, how should I say this? Something is left maybe incomplete, or, not necessarily on solid ground. And, there's still going to be some issues here, but they're going to be healing in time. And as a matter of fact, it almost as if, like, he already said.
You're saying it.
I never got to that one.
I know, but you're saying it too,
I'm
though.
saying it now, that there is a happy ending in sight. It's definitely as if you're going to be able to get to the finish line on whatever this is that you desire. And so don't lose hope. And as a matter of fact, looking at the lilies and the stars together here, I get the feeling that as these 2 months go on, you're going to feel more hopeful as you get closer to the end of the 2-month cycle.
What wasn't or isn't being completed will be completed in this cycle. So I agree with that. And it may be that, of course, something that wasn't really helpful needs to split or just somehow be removed. I'm not going to comment any more about that. Totally agree with these guys, though. There's sort of a sense of growth and progress moving towards a better hope or destiny for you. And I think you're going to see that in the 2 months, that there's just things are reversing or building better.
Yeah, I do feel like, right, the star coincides in a way with this 10 of Swords. It's like hope reversed. It's like hope returns. There's optimism now where there might have been a sense of defeat before, or that maybe there's just some disappointment in some things taking longer, than you had anticipated. But the world says, for all the bumps and bruises we go through in life, enjoy the journey. It really is about the journey. You will make it to the finish line on what you're doing or what you're hoping for. This period, I think, is going to be pretty good for you to reach a sense of conclusion or completion on something in a positive way.
All right.
It's really good. So good luck with that.
And Fire Spawn is up and has asked the question,
what doesn't kill us? That's right, Sherry.
what does this Pisces want me to know?
Thank you. All right.
I'm going to use the Night Sun Tarot for Fire Spawn's question. You're welcome, Sherry. You take care too.
Why is this coming up so much today?
The Scythe?
Yeah.
The pre-Mercury retrograde, maybe? Okay, so Firespawn, what does the Pisces want you to know?
I'm going to have a hard time with this one.
So the first card is the King of Wands, and it's upright. The second card is the Knight of Swords, which is also upright. And then it's the Ace of Cups.
Everything but a water sign except for that Ace of Cups, right?
Well, the funny thing is that maybe if I'm cutting to the chase, oh, here's our scythy friend, our sharp little friend, ooh, and the fox. I'm not going to go to those yet.
I bet.
I don't even want to look at them. Because what the Pisces wants you to know is that maybe they feel King of Wands, they're dynamic and charismatic and charming, and that maybe they want you to know that you're in their field of vision now, perhaps. But the Knight of Swords says that maybe it's also the idea that they're in pursuit too. So maybe the Pisces is actually thinking they want to impress you in some way with all their charisma, their bravery, their courage. And of course, it is perhaps about beginning a relationship of some sort.
My goodness, Fire Spawn, I hope this is positive. It does have a lot of positive connotations here. I think the Pisces, is definitely feeling some energy here, wanting to apply some energy to, to you definitely is enthusiastic. They want you to know they're enthusiastic. They want you to see them as charming, as as somebody who they want to come off as being attracted to you, attractive. You feeling attracted towards them. And yeah, there is this idea here of pursuit. I can't argue with Mr. O on that. If not pursuit, there's movement. There's some movement that they're going to make. They're either going to connect or reconnect. If that's the issue, I feel that that's very possible, and it could be the start of something romantic. Now, what on earth could the fox and the scythe mean? I have a thought, Mr. O. I wonder what you'll think of this. I feel here the fox and the scythe is about, this is a time to be, I feel that maybe the Pisces realizes this is a time for cutting back on subterfuge, cutting back on mystery, being honest and open, because sometimes the fox can be about sneaky and craftiness, but the scythe is here and it's cutting away at that. So I feel like this is a time for more openness and honesty and a sense of, well, what?
These are the parts that apply to this person as a Pisces.
Okay.
The idea that maybe they realize what you just said. It's time to change that subterfuge, to remove it.
Yeah, the thing is, I think their charm is genuine. Looking at that psyche and the fox together there makes me feel that way, and that there's some interest here. There's definitely some interest here.
So that's what the Pisces wants you to know, I guess, is that
I guess they want you to be attracted to them.
they're serious. Oh, yeah.
That's the one. I almost think there's going to be a cutting back on that. The sneaky factor. Maybe some things will come out in the open. Maybe this Knight of Swords is more about communication, than pursuit. So at any rate, maybe a dialogue will open up, and that would be a good thing. And it might, be a happy thing. Even if it doesn't end up being romantic, it could be something that brings some joy. Maybe it won't be that creepy.
It's not always easy to armchair diagnose somebody's horoscope. Pisces, gets a lot of bad raps, just like other signs do for certain qualities. But sometimes you have to be willing to understand, that there's a lot of other aspects than just sneakiness or whatever. I'm not saying that's you, Fire Spawn. I'm very guilty of that myself. When I look at a sign, and say, "Oh, well, that's because they're put in the sign."
Everything he's doing, even if it seems like he's sneaking around, with this King of Wands here, I really think he's trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So.
All right, good luck.
Good luck with that. I hope it turns out good.
And Shirley wants to know if El the Leo, what does El the Leo want you to know? All right. Will you be together?
I'm trying to figure out if my reading will work on that. I guess I could have done it for the other one too.
You're welcome, Fire Spawn. I hope that helps.
My deck, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so we have broken into the second hour. So we're on the downside here. We have Shirley, Kara, Info Entertainment, SP, Mary, Libra, Foxy, and Violet Lotus.
We're doing pretty well.
We are doing pretty well.
Especially since we did a birthday reading.
Yeah. Well, Thursdays tend to be a little bit of a slower night, so it could be that closer to 9, all of a sudden some people will drop in on us, and we may or may not be able to take them. Excuse me. I have a very dry throat tonight.
All right. Oh, it's a very dark card, so it's hard to see. But it is the Devil reversed. It's the Queen of Pentacles.
You're welcome,
Or
Shirley.
the Queen of Coins reversed. How interesting. It's the Lovers upright.
You're going to love these then. Because it's the Anchor
Whoa.
and the Heart. Shirley's question, can you please tell me, what does L the Leo want you to know, and will you be together in the future?
Well, it's possible by the looks of it, I would say, Shirley. I would say not to rule it out. I think the Leo wants you to know that they're feeling more, I don't know, maybe that they're enjoying their independence right now. I just wonder about this card. Maybe there are certain things in their life that had been taking a toll on them in some ways. They felt really trapped or confined by it. I don't know if this is another relationship that they're getting out of, or, it's a very difficult job that's been oppressing them. I get that feeling here. And, of course, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed here, which, again, just means that, to me, well, I'm going to let you go with that. I got to think about the Queen more. I'm going two ways with this.
Maybe you didn't know this, or maybe you don't know this, and I know this is like an outrageous prediction, but is L the Leo possibly in recovery from, substance problems or some sort of problem?
That could be
and
that.
This is them saying, I am working on getting rid of my problems and taking care of things. The Queen of Coins reversed, taking care of myself, making myself healthier. And maybe there is a future for us, or there is a decision about our future or our interest that will be better.
Well, you went on there, but that's really part of what I wanted to say about the Queen of Coins.
Okay.
That's fine. The Queen of Coins, but the thing is, to me, I feel like they're feeling oppressed, and, something was bringing them down, whether it was like what he said or other things, and maybe it's health matters, just in general. But the bottom line is that they hadn't been looking after their needs that well, and maybe now they are finally doing that. That's what I think right there.
You're right. These correlate to what Shirley just told us, too. I think that's
and I didn't even
definitely,
read that. Let's see.
It just popped up.
Okay.
So it does sound like that in a way.
The Lovers indicates to me that it's possible you will get together. There could be romance. There could be a connection that's deeper. I think that this person has to make, it's going to rely on the choices that they make. That's the bottom line here.
And they are working on themselves, or they want to be.
They are working on themselves. And the bottom line here is that they definitely are looking for some stability and security in their love life right now. So maybe, that's what they want to tell you. They're trying to look for something that's stable and secure.
And that's interesting, being a Leo, because usually Leos only take care of themselves. But, that means that maybe they have some other, good corresponding planets in their horoscope. I'm not saying all Leos are like that. Once again, the generalizing thing, generally Leos are really kind of more interested in taking care of themselves, but that's a generalism.
So the other thing I can say is, in answer to your question, if you'll be together, it is possible he will make that choice and that there will be some stability and security in this union. I think I would definitely keep this option open as possible here. But definitely they need to, they certainly need to get better care of themselves, and they seem to know that now. Or the other element of this is, it's because they're trying to liberate some of the responsibilities that they have, because they realize it's not been doing good things for them.
being married for 20 years and then no longer, I mean,
it's tough.
whether it's, it ended because of a death or it ended because of a separation, there's going to be a lot to unpack there, no matter how it happened. And that could be represented by the devil reverse trying to, change the sense of the dependencies that were there to whatever they are. I think it's more important to look that maybe they are thinking of you, possibly, but I think you're wise to suggest that they learn to love themselves too and to continue being friends.
Yeah. I think it looks promising. I definitely do. So good luck with that, Shirley.
Oh, today's his birthday.
Oh, I know, I saw that.
Happy birthday to your friend.
Happy birthday.
A lot of Leos we know right around now. All right, so thank you, Shirley.
All right, good luck with that.
And that means...
We're on Kara.
Hey, Kara. I'm going to pull out the Tarot of the Northern Shadows because Odin might pop up there. He is on a couple of the cards, I think.
All right, want to do my reading?
All right. I love this deck too. It's kind of like a little vague in some ways, but the pictures and art are really nice and maybe different too. I look at it and I get some different feelings from some of the cards than I do from other tarot, so I like that. Well, thank you, Shirley. A lovely reading. Thank you.
Aw.
Right,
you,
I didn't want to
Shirley.
assume one way or the other, but I just realized that, if somebody was married that long, that's a lot to, process and stuff, no matter how it happened or why it happened. And I have known a few folks who were married. I've known several folks who were married a while and then had a passing and of their spouse. And it is hard to make yourself ready to reconnect, especially if you're young and you need to do that, but you have so much to unpack there. Anyway, let's get on with Kara's reading.
Well, I can keep looking at my deck while you chat.
What does Odin want to tell me? Ooh.
This deck is beautiful, Violet. It's really gorgeous.
Aw, shucks, Shirley. Stop it. No, don't stop. Okay, Kara. Odin says 7 of Cups reversed.
Okay, so what does Odin want you to know? It's time to make a choice or a decision, Kara. You have all kinds of options of what you could be doing with your life, Odin says. But and he hung from that tree, right? To gain knowledge, and now's the time to take your knowledge and apply it somewhere. He wants you to pick a path or pick a project, pick a goal, pick a direction, and start moving on it.
And you know what? I'll have to say that because it's Odin, those options or choices are specific to what he wants. He may want you to suffer for that wisdom.
We'll talk about that.
Okay, I know.
Lenormand.
Why is this important?
Why is this important?
Because it's destiny. The star.
Oh my goodness. Because, right, you need to find your true north. He wants you to focus on things that are your true, go follow that North Star, follow your destiny, what you really feel called for. And that's what you have to decide. I mean, there's a lot of things we all like to do. I scatter myself all over the place. But, I have certain areas that I put a lot of focus on. And that's what he wants you to do. Put the focus on the area that's most important to your destiny.
I want golden delicious apples now.
I want $1 million.
Well, I want that too.
That's my destiny. No,
all right, so
on.
Where ultimately does this lead to the idea that Odin wants you to know something? And it is the reversed 8 of Cups.
Wow.
Well, where it's leading to is that maybe this is a path that you thought you had chosen before and then you decided you didn't want it, or maybe something interfered with that, and so you sort of moved from that path, but maybe this is a path that Odin really wants you to get back to. Maybe it's about a path that you thought you weren't on, but Odin feels this is the path for you.
This is getting really interesting for sure. So I think here, Odin wants you to look back at something that you have abandoned perhaps, and maybe even though you've abandoned it, you still think about it. You still maybe want to go there or do that or be that person. And he wants you to re-explore this. Sometimes, the choices that we make aren't about all new, shiny, sparkly things. They're about things we've kind of let get dusty in the attic of our brains or the attic of our house, etc. And it's time to dust them off and start working on them again. So...
the Lenormands, Odin is sending a stork.
And some grief.
And some grief. I told you.
As soon as he said it, I'm like, oh, I got that for you. Sorry, Kara. Didn't want to say that at your expense. But I think what it's saying is, new beginnings can be stressful, even if you're revisiting something that you thought... maybe you abandoned it because you thought, I'm not good enough. I never will be able to do this. I'll never be able to pull this off. I don't have the right tools or stuff. So you have to abandon that long-term grief that you've had about this and restart. Give it a new beginning. It's time.
Yes, it seems to me that maybe this thing is no longer considered a new thing, but it really should have been, whatever it was, you let it slip away. Maybe you forgot about it, or maybe you decided it wasn't really important for some reason. Maybe trickster Loki got in the way here and said, oh, you don't want to do that. Odin doesn't care if you do that. But maybe it is time to rediscover it. And it may be a little bit harder because now Odin is saying, well, I really want you to make sure now. So maybe as a new idea, it has a little spin on being a little bit harder, a little bit more processing for you. But it'll make you better in the end, too. You know that.
Odin, he went through a lot hanging on that tree. Something to do with his eye, right? So, there's he says challenge yourself. Challenge yourself and give this a fresh start. So, it may be that we avoid things because we feel like it's too much effort or, my gosh, too much stress and strain. But he wants you to challenge yourself.
Odin says, no pain, no gain.
There is pleasure in pain.
No, that's not Odin.
That's not.
That's Satan.
That's right. Never mind. I was just being silly. All right. Mr. O is not the only one who can be silly around here. I'm just saying.
I welcome it.
That's what we have for you, Kara.
All
Good
right,
luck
Kara.
with that. All right. Oh my gosh, we're getting silly. Info Entertainment and Violet's posted the question.
Info Entertainment says...
what's coming in regards Allie's actions towards me be for the coming month? Okay. Allie's actions towards you in the coming month. And that's your deck?
No, I used my deck.
Oh, that's right. You did.
I could use it again
You
if you
used
want.
the Northern Shadows. No. We don't want you to do that. All right.
You're welcome, Kara. You have good questions and you make our show fun.
All right.
And somehow, Sonny hasn't been here all night, has he?
No, I don't know what happened.
Maybe Freya and Odin are fighting.
I
Freya
don't know what
I'm just going
happened.
to take
You're
my
right.
cats and leave.
Why did you have to say anything and jinx it, though?
Because it's already nearly 8:30, so how bad could it be?
He's going to come and bother me. Besides, he scratched me today. Perhaps that's why he's not around.
Help me out, Carol. Come on, let's do it. Sonny. I know, you need a mirror, right? 3 times in the mirror. Yeah.
There's no room, really.
Well,
I've
that
had
was
all
the
this
point of-
luxurious space, and you're trying to take it from me.
Okay, let me focus for Info Entertainment 999. The Oogie Boogie. All right, what you got?
Well, the Magician is reversed. Good grief, the reversals today. I think that's the Page, because it's got a shield or a helmet. The Page of Wands reversed.
It's the Page.
Oh, for crying. And the Five of Cups reversed. It's my day to have a lot of reversed cards, I guess.
In Lenormand, we have the clouds. And that dark side is facing the snake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I don't know the situation you're in, Info Entertainment, but, you know, this doesn't look very positive in a lot of ways here. I don't know if there's a separation, but I do feel here that, you know, they're not really very motivated to take any actions maybe right now, or any positive actions. You know, sometimes the Magician reversed, and it's interesting that we have the Magician reversed and the Snake in this reading, because the Magician can be about trickery, right? Slay of hand, you know, nothing up my sleeves, but of course there's something up his sleeves.
If it's not about somehow this person maybe changing their direction or their intentions, it could be about an outright deception or a sense of a deception.
So I'd be a little bit cautious with this person. And the Page of Wands is reversed here. It indicates that, you know, things are not moving well. You know, there may be delays in hearing from this person. There may be disappointments in regards to what you hear from this person. If they do contact you,
they may actually be trying to avoid contacting you because maybe they don't really want to tell you what it is, but they sort of feel like if that situation came about, that you two were in that proximity or in connection, they would probably tell you that. And so they're really trying to avoid, maybe, is what it feels like.
And the Five of Cups reversed to me indicates that they could be walking away, or they're just trying to avoid, you know, things that are bringing them disappointment right now. Now, you know, maybe they have other struggles or things going on which may be playing a role as to why they don't want to, they're avoiding you. Let's put it that way. But I'm worried here because you want to go ahead first?
Yeah,
go ahead.
The Five of Cups reversed, is it possible that there's somebody else in the picture, another person who has shown up, somebody either from their past or somebody that they may have known before, and so maybe this complicates their feelings. Wondering if, like, maybe they're actually thinking how they could possibly have, you know, both relationships, or sort of, you know, be secretive in some ways. Maybe that's what they don't want to tell you about, is that maybe they feel like they're moving towards another relationship.
I wonder if they're too, maybe with some baggage from a previous relationship that they haven't completely let go of. I just wonder about that too. So they're being a little bit deceptive. And the snake here and the clouds, it just indicates to me that there's a lot of confusion or things happening below the surface here. There could be some deception. There could be some like subterfuge, like they're telling you one thing but they're doing another, and that doesn't necessarily have to be infidelity. I mean, it could be something else, but it just seems like they may be not being very upfront about something.
So the bottom line is what may be coming is their inability to really be truthful or to tell you what's going on. It may be that they're just not able to talk to you about it for some reason, or that they are actually trying to cover that up. Not necessarily deceptive, but could be, or that they have some other reason why they don't want you to know something.
And if there's been, how should I say this? If there's been if this is just the start of a friendship or a relationship, it just seems, or connection. This just seems to be off to a not too great start, and I feel here that there's been some deceptive behavior going on at the heart of this. So the air has to be cleared. I think it's pretty clear here, but I'm just not sure it's going to happen. This was for the month, right? I think.
No, it's just a general question
Towards
about
me
this
for the
person.
coming month. That's
Okay, I
what
see,
it says. So that's what I see coming for you, Info Entertainment. Good luck with that.
And SP left a question, which Violet has thrown out there.
Okay, wait.
Do you want
Could
me
you
to get
move
it?
the lantern a little? Never mind, I got it. This was in my way.
I see.
Okay.
SP would like to know what they don't see coming in their career in the next several months. So I shall use the Crow's Magic Tarot.
Very nice.
What I don't see coming in my career in the next 3 months.
All right.
The Emperor reversed. Justice upright. And the Knight of Coins upright. So what you don't see coming in the next 3 months.
What was the
in your
first card? The
business.
Empress. The Empress reversed.
Emperor.
Oh, Emperor.
Yes.
Reversed. Justice upright. And
Knight of Coins.
the Knight of Coins upright. Okay, that's interesting. Let me throw this at you.
The Rider and the Lady.
All right, so this is about career, what you don't see coming. The Emperor's reversed. Well, it seems as though something may be coming that may be kind of hard for you to get a handle on, to control, to get control over. It's possible here, it could throw you a little bit. I will say that. But I don't want you to worry too much because you have Justice right next to that upright. And I almost feel as though, yes, something may happen that kind of may throw you off your game, but you're going to regain your footing. You're going to regain your balance. Everything is going to even out in the end. And ultimately, it may lead to possibly more money. I wonder here if there might be a surprise promotion that'll throw you off your game, or maybe more responsibilities. Here comes Sonny, just because he had to call him here. So...
No, that was Oogie Boogie Kara doing it.
But, yeah, that's true, Kara. You are powerful. You are powerful. Your bond with Sonny. But anyway... The Justice card up right here says this is all going to balance out in the end, This, whatever it is, don't, maybe sometimes you shouldn't try to control things. Just try to go with the flow. It will balance out. And ultimately, there could be some financial moves for you. And look at this. There is movement. There is some sort of movement in your job or career. I don't think that means you're going to get the boot, because nothing here really totally adds up to that to me. I think instead it could mean more money or more responsibilities, some move forward. You may go.
Hi, SP. I know you joined us too, and it is a wow kind of reading here. I sort of had the feeling that it might pertain more to your career or work, but I know in the past you've asked questions about...
They asked about career.
Oh, that's right. You did ask about career.
3 months.
Duh. Sorry about that. So I do feel like what's going on here could be the feeling like maybe something has been maybe removed
They just added something that we'll talk about that. But go ahead.
We've talked about this before too.
Yeah.
But I feel like something has possibly changed in that respect. You
Come on,
may not
Sonny.
have exact control over something, like maybe they split up some of your duties and your duties are reassigned somewhere else. But I think it's to prepare you for something else possibly, because I see the Justice card there. Have a seat, Sonny. Don't eat the cards. And the Knight of Coins, it says underneath there's keywords anchor in essence, and I like that. The Knight of Coins is about stability. There could be money, there could be things going on there. I see the little gold things there. But I think it's more important to realize that something about this may stabilize you in your career, that maybe somebody realizes, you need justice in the situation, or that you're the one who knows you need justice in the situation. So I feel like things are stabilizing because maybe you actually had, to stand up here. I'm not seeing anything about the possible moves. I can't rule that out one way or the other, but there is movement with that Rider card, and that's
Yes.
that's you moving there.
I could say that, you're going to have to really kind of do a better job of how do I want to say this? Organizing yourself. If this is about a move, it just seems like you're really not in that perfect position for that yet. However, I think that things are going to be getting better. This is about 3 months. So during this time, right now is not a good time, but during this time there could be a shift and a change where you're beginning to find your balance. You're beginning to find the way you could make this work. And the Knight of Coins could be about movement, but remember, the Knight of Coins is one of the slowest moving cards in the tarot. So, maybe even by 3 months, you would not be making this move, but you would still be either in the planning stages or taking steps towards it. And that's what the Knight of Coins is about. Slow and steady wins the race. So don't think you can just jump into this and without a lot of chaos ensuing, okay? You're going to have to really plot it out, and you're going to have to take it step by step. And clearly, there is a move for you here one way or another, whether it's in your present employment or, someplace else.
The Knight of Coins, it says anchor, and I think this is saying you will stay rooted to what you're trying to achieve, whether it happens in this 3 months or not. That it may be, you're going to be able to figure it out. Maybe the Emperor reversed is really part of the preparation towards that happening. The idea that you have to kind of streamline things, reorganize, and maybe get rid of some of the things that are obligations that would tie you there in a way. It's on your end, not necessarily happening to you, but happening because you're providing that direction.
That's what we have for you.
Alrighty.
Good luck with that. And we are on It's Mary the Aries. And
Mary.
we've got, can I get a reading on my ex-Cancer? How does he feel? What's his future actions? What's the energy between us? What do I need to know, essentially? All right, I think we can handle that. With the deck with the smaller cards, was that your deck you used?
I have some decks with smaller
What
cards.
did you just use? Oh, are you talking about this? The tiny? I think they might be.
Well, we use them in conjunction.
These are tiles, but they're the Lenormand. They're Lenormand cards. Yeah. And we're using tiles. Somebody made actual physical pieces of them, instead of cards. They're based on an ancient gypsy kind of fortune-telling system, and we use it with the tarot. So there are different versions and styles of the Lenormand, like there are different versions and styles of the tarot.
Right, they're more similar to cartomancy. Cartomancy.
There you go.
Maybe a couple hundred years ago, the 1800s, moving forward.
Yeah.
Sunny.
All right. So Mary asked a mouthful there. So let's see how we can handle that. Let's see. I'm going to use. Let's just see. She basically wants to know what she needs to know about the Cancer, right?
All right.
And it's an X. Okay. Just want to make sure I got all these cards. They're so slippery. They're so easy to shuffle. Uh-oh. My first card is upright. It's the Tower. Second card is the Queen of Pentacles upright. They're all upright. And interestingly enough, there's Justice again, upright.
So in Lenormand, the first one was the Fox. And the second one was the Child.
Well, that's an interesting combo. Excuse me. All right, so let's just see. So how does he feel? What's his future actions? What's the energy between us? What do I need to know essentially? Well, the Tower reverse just seems to indicate that the X feels that, this relationship was not built on very solid ground, and that they have learned a lot from this experience, or, they're in the process still of processing, what they went through with this relationship. I'll stop there.
I feel that, right, there was something that basically was a learning experience here, but it maybe had to break away some of the things that they believed in. So they had to have certain beliefs or feelings or attitudes kind of exposed or forced for them to reevaluate. This was more about learning for themselves than learning about you or the situation itself.
I think the breakup was a shattering experience of sorts for them and maybe, for both of you. I feel here that they are looking after themselves now and their own needs. That right now, that Queen of Pentacles there, they're very giving and caring though. They may have some feelings and thoughts and care about how you are doing, but oftentimes too, this is a card of self-care. So I wonder if they're taking care of their own needs right now, but that doesn't mean that they don't have some feelings for you.
Pretty much that. I sort of feel like that card is after the Tower's fall. Yeah. That mostly where they've been since then is just kind of processing and taking care of themselves. They're not necessarily thinking about you one way or the other, but they don't necessarily feel bad. I don't feel that way.
And Justice here kind of indicates to me that maybe they feel, they have to make a decision of some sort in regards to this relationship. And it's not very clear to me, what they're thinking here. I think Justice could indicate that they maybe want to make sure that everything is resolved in a positive manner. And whether that means getting back together or whether that just means, no hard feelings sort of thing.
It's kind of funny because the thought I got here was with Justice was that maybe ultimately in their mind, they kind of are a solid relationship-minded person. I'm picking up the Libra energy of Justice, and Libra is about partnerships, marriages, things like that. So maybe in their heart that they would be the kind of person that would want to be married someday. I'm not saying this is about you or your relationship, but they have a good feeling. They don't feel like they don't want to not be in a relationship or they don't want to trust in the value of good relationships.
Okay, I like that. No.
I liked what Violet said about the child and the fox. I'm not sure if I feel that way. A little bit, I guess.
Fox and child, immaturity. Well, that could be. I actually think that's not a bad thing. The child could indicate that they have some growing to do. I feel here that.
Well, it could be that maybe after this, this is a resolve of them looking at themselves and realizing they have to not be such, an immature, child.
It's possible, but maybe they're also feel. Yeah, I think that's possible. Actually, I like that. I think that there's definitely some movement here. I just wonder if sometimes they wish that things had ended differently, if they were going to end. And maybe, like I said, that justice card might be the key in that they feel like something needs to be, what's the word, worked out. Whether it means that they're thinking of coming back someday, or whether it means they just want to say they're sorry, or that they want to make sure that there are no hard feelings, something like that. And I think the child here is indicating a sense of, maybe it's possible in time, slowly they might take steps towards trying to work with you again. I'm not going to rule that out. I can't rule it out. But I don't know. The Tower is a hard thing, a hard card either way. Upright, it's in its best position. But, when something comes crashing down like that, sometimes it's hard to want to rebuild it. It's more likely to pick up the pieces and move on. So, like I said, I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm thinking more likely they just want to make sure that, everything is okay. Because they do care about you, I think, on some level. But they also care about their own needs right now, too. That's the best I can do.
I agree with all that, so that's good. And I think we're closing the list.
Yeah, the list is closed. It's 8:48.
You betcha.
Oh, yeah. So, I believe Libra's up. Let's go to Libra.
And Libra asks, what are the white butterflies I keep seeing?
I'll take the Lenormand. I'll take
All
my
right.
cards back, too. Butterflies. I saw a monarch the other day. Very cool. Love monarchs. Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm just looking for a tarot I want to
So we'll
use.
probably do my reading on that one.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use the ancestral path again. No, that's fine, Violet. What? 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 What?
Interesting. I keep peeking at my deck.
Okay, first card.
What you got?
The Page of Wands, called in this deck the Princess of Staves.
Page of Wands. Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the message of the butterflies? It's a message.
Watch for more messages.
There's some new. It might be indicating that there is going to be some news coming to you, potentially about some new beginnings, something that could be positive. Whether this is, in your personal life or in your work career life, whatever the case may be. I think it's about something new coming in.
It's a general, so it could be about a couple of things,
Yep.
but I think it is like good news coming to you, maybe suggesting opportunities or movement in a direction you find favorable. So why is that important? And it's the star reversed. It may be that things were seeming like in this message hopeless, or you just didn't feel there was a path forward, but it will show you that there is some path. You just have to realize that you have to get the message in order to be able to understand and act on it.
Well, maybe you've been feeling a little bit low, like, that there's nothing new under the sun for me or nothing positive going to happen, and so why is this important is because, this new thing, don't just write it off like you aren't going to be able to take this on at this time. This is something positive. This is something that could be growthful. This is not something that you should be pessimistic about.
I like that.
Yeah. So where is this heading? I want to see that, and then I might go over these again.
All right, so it's the Knight of Swords now, and it is reversed.
So don't make a bad decision based on, your lack of trust in yourself or your lack of trust in, the universe having your back here. Don't make a poorly thought out decision. You really ought to consider whatever this new opportunity is presenting to you.
It needs to be something that you can slow down on and really examine the various components. That's where this will lead to, is understanding what the message is will make you realize you have time to do this. You just need to kind of examine it and do it in order.
Well, now I
No
get
rushing.
to throw a wrench on everything.
Oh, no.
Although you do have this flying bird here, like the
Stork.
butterfly, the stork is flying in, but so are the mice crawling in.
Well, it could be that maybe, in a way, you've always known in a sense that maybe there would be some irritations or some things that would bother you about this project starting up or this new direction here. And so that's what you have to understand, is that there's going to be a little bit of pain in order to get to the other side of that.
Oh, this is just such a tough reading. This one's not very cut and dry to me. But it's like the mice and the stork indicates to me that, don't stress taking on a new beginning at this time, taking on something new. It may be a bit of a challenge, it may be a bit of a struggle, but it's temporary. That's what the mice are. They're very temporary. But now I'm seeing some other things here, and I'm just going to go back and look at this again for a minute. Okay, so the Page of Wands, definitely a message is coming to you. The butterflies are saying it's coming, and not to give up hope. Why is this important? Because maybe you should not give up hope that things are going to get better. So be careful of the decisions you make. Don't act rashly because you've lost all hope and sense of things changing. I can't help but wonder if this has to do with your kids' health. Because the mice, again, are about temporary disruptions. They can be about illnesses that are not long-term but temporary. And then you have the stork here, which is about a new beginning and change. So I feel that, it's saying that this is only temporary and that things are going to change. I'm going to throw that out there because I just have a sense about that.
All right. I like it.
And that's what we have for you, Indra. Foxy, you're back. Okay, let's get you in. What is your
Foxy.
question? Good thing you got in. Like I said, this is the last show for questions for one whole week. We will be here for happy hour, though. Do come get a single card positive message from Spirit that day, Saturday at 10 p.m. a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And it will be kind of a one and done because I do have to work that day too. So, there won't be a lot of overtime. All right, Foxy.
Oh. Well, let's take a look at that. Should you invest? I'm not going to do a yes/no on that. Let's take a look at what the cards have to say.
All right.
All right. As soon as I figure out what deck I want to use. I don't think I used your Hush Tarot yet. Let's grab that one. All right.
Violet.
Violet.
I know, right?
Hey, I can relate. Sorry, Mr. O. Mr. O is one sexy Scorpio, but
Bye, Sherry. Have a good night, too.
Take care, Sherry. All right. Well, we start off with the Seven of Swords. That's interesting. Upright. Ugh. That is a sword, right? No. Okay. This is what a sword looks like. That might be wands.
No, it's a sword.
Okay.
It's swords.
Okay. This is a Ten of Wands reversed. And this is the Page of Swords reversed.
I'm all over the place.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so there's those darn clouds again.
Oh, goodness.
And this time with the cross.
Holy cow.
I almost wonder if this guy's bad news.
Well,
not totally, though, because there's at least one or two cards.
Maybe we ought to do a yes/no after this, just to be sure. But the Seven of Swords indicates to me that, you gotta just look for upfrontness and honesty here and make sure this person is everything, they say they are or they appear to be. Let's put it that way. Everything they appear to be. And it might be a good idea right now for you to not be too demonstrative about being interested. Maybe to kind of just still try to ferret things out. What do you think?
The Seven of Swords in this context is about cleverness. So I think this is saying, like, it's not like there's big danger signs, but this is like something that maybe you want to be a little bit, clever about.
Cleverness, yeah. So be smart. And I already forgot is that the Page
Ten of Wands.
It's the Ten of Wands
Reversed.
I feel here as though maybe take a lighter approach to this now. Get to know this person at work or, through, just more light activities. Try, even if it is just through social media, even at this time, just try to take a lighter approach. And I feel like maybe that will get you better results here, or you'll be able to feel better about, who or what you're dealing with here.
So we're both kind of walking back, what might have been, red flags, because I feel that way too, that this is just saying really, maybe don't rush, sort of have a more comfortable view of how you're moving forward. Not a rush, but, not necessarily like saying, well, there's 3 doors you have to go through before I say yes about anything. Just saying, take an uncluttered view of what this is about. Sort of just try to look at it as honestly as possible. So the final card is the Page of Swords.
Well, see, that's why I'm just saying I'm not getting rid of all the red flags.
Okay.
Communications could be a problem. Are you, sometimes, of course, when we're on I mean, it's one thing when you work with a person and you can see them. It's another thing when you're on social media and you're just communicating and people can be anything they want to be, you know. So be sure your communications are clear, concise, and that you really are, you know, getting to the heart of the matter, the truth of things.
I don't feel super red flags, but I do feel like maybe they're a little bit clumsy or a little bit awkward
Right, okay.
about expressing themselves, and so they may be trying to impress you with something that isn't exactly true. So that's where the cleverness comes in, is that they may be trying to make you think a little bit more than you know, now that you've met them in person and you're comparing that to their Hinge profile, they might have to, you know, compensate to make you feel like you are more like the one or the other. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
How interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true
let me
too,
tell
yeah.
you something here, too. I think that, you know, there's going to be some long-term uncertainty about this person. So the cross can be about grief, yes. The cross can be about worries and things, but usually this is things that need time to work themselves out. And sometimes they don't. Like, depending on what the cross is with, sometimes that could indicate like a chronic illness that goes on, you know, and that you live with, like mine. So, you know, but in this case and in this reading, it's indicating, I feel, some worries here because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's some mystery around this person. And you have to get, like I said, you have to get to the bottom of it.
Well, as a general rule, mostly feel that, you know, people who begin a relationship in a job, it's not always a good idea. I just feel that way.
Wait a minute.
It
Wait
was
a
for
minute.
us. It was for us.
It was for us.
But that's because one of us left eventually.
Well, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
Okay, maybe it didn't.
it does complicate things, let's just say. So be cautious, be smart, be clever, you know, in your approach to this person and try to really get to the bottom. You're already sensing some nervousness when he realized you two are working together. So, you know, that could be interesting. So, hey, just see where this goes. Take your time.
You never know. It may be possible that they're the kind of person that won't necessarily want to be in a relationship with somebody they work at.
That's possible, too.
So
That might be, too,
that could
why
be
they
their
were nervous.
standard, you know, that they feel like, you know, they shouldn't do that at work. So it's probably something you need to check out with as much, you know, time as you can give it.
So I wouldn't say super red flags, but, you know,
Yeah.
I would just be a little bit cautious moving
There's a man
forward.
of mystery there for sure.
Yeah. And good luck with that.
Good luck, Foxy.
Wow, Foxy, that was an interesting reading.
It was pretty wild. You're right.
It definitely was wild. All right.
Alrighty. So that means
Violet
Violet
Lotus,
Lotus!
you are up.
You're welcome as always.
Take care, Foxy. We'll see you in a week, hopefully.
It did work out better than we thought. You know, at first it looked like those cards were like bam, bam, but then it was kind of like there was some nuance there.
Oh,
So I
there was
hope that
definitely
works.
some nuance there.
Your question for Dimmy. Oh, there's a name I haven't heard in a little bit. Ah, no, that means it's really our fault.
What? Well, there are some red flags there. I mean, in that, you know, why did, you know, just be cautious. I think the cards are just saying, watch this one. And, you know, try to just do things that are lighter and see where it leads. Get to know this person well.
All right, what are you possibly... Can Dimmy answer what are you possibly missing from that last reading?
To know what I'm the... Oh, okay. Ah. Uh-oh.
You dropped something.
My wand.
Whoops.
Sonny, I had to get my wand. Sorry. You probably thought I was snuggling with him, sneaking a hug. All right. Oh, these Lenormand are being tricky today. For right now. Usually I get one that wants to pop into my hand and it's not. Come on, Dimmy. Oh, that one did. All right.
All right. So the first card was the reverse page of coins. And that's almost like saying the same thing. Like, what did you miss? You know, the page of coins, you know, sort of like distracted or abstracted. But then it's followed by the the Four of Cups upright. And then finally the Eight of Coins upright. Fish and mice. Oh, Dimmy, why you do this to me?
All right, that first card again, you said?
Was the Page of Coins reversed.
So what are you missing? I think that maybe this idea of grounding and centering more, maybe is important here. Maybe more time, even spent with earth energies, because also there's this whole idea of nature, that's surrounding the page of coins as well.
It could be that Dimmy feels that there is some other knowledge that you need to have or that you're not quite integrating for some reason. It may be knowledge you have, but you haven't quite aligned it with other things, or it's just knowledge that you still need to have. The Page of Coins reversed is maybe talking about a person who is a scholar in a study. This is not the opposite of that, but this is just saying that maybe there's something you need to find for yourself, not necessarily through Dimmy or Uncle Alan or the other situations, but Dimmy seems to know you need to find it. Where they can provide that direction is not necessarily clear here.
Well, clearly he's right that there's some incomplete knowledge, and Dimmy recognizes that. You're unsure of what your direction should be, which is why I think he's also suggesting maybe this is clearly within you. I don't think the answer is out there somewhere, but it's within you, and you have to ground and center and meditate more to really get to the bottom of this. And what do we have here?
The Four of Cups.
That's right. And again, that's a card of contemplation. I wonder if that's why I immediately glommed on to that idea of, meditating and contemplating. He really wants you to do some serious soul searching here, I think. And also maybe what this is saying is, and I know this is going to frustrate you, Aries, I know how we are, that maybe you just don't need to think about what you're taking on and trying to accomplish at this time. And maybe it's time to pull back a little bit until you can sort this out good. Now, I don't think this means you have to stop with your mediumship things necessarily, but I do think, like projects, goals, different things that might be muddying the waters more or separating you from trying to reach, some answers here. That's really... because I think, your mediumship really should remain open, so that maybe that will help you, too, in solving your own dilemmas.
I think something differently. I think Dimmy is saying that there is more than one answer or more than one set of things you need to know and integrate. That maybe the answer is a little bit random, that there is just really more things there, and it isn't necessarily one thing or even a combination of things. These are just things that would provide balance to you that you may need to understand. So some of that could just be other philosophies that you haven't encountered yet, other metaphysical philosophies about the nature of the soul, things like that.
Well, you know what's funny? I did not see that at all with that card, but stay tuned. All right.
Okay.
So...
Eight of Coins upright.
The Eight of Coins upright is Dimmy just says, don't be too hard on yourself, and just recognize here that you're doing the work still, and that maybe you'll be working on this a long time. Maybe it'll never be totally perfect, but the more that you really understand that, hey, I have to keep working on this, the closer you'll get to resolving this. But I have to tell you, I have to go on because then you can take it from there. I have to tell you, when I see the mice and the fish, there are little things. Demi says these are little things, but little things can add up to bigger things. And so I think what Demi is also saying is maybe it's not just one thing you're missing. Maybe there's a number of little things that you're missing. I hate to do that to you, but I couldn't help it. When I saw the mice and I'm like, with the fish, geez.
That's interesting. I'll have to think about that myself. I do feel that with the Eight of Pentacles,
I know.
with the Eight of Pentacles upright, though, I think this is saying that not only is there still work to do, but Demi wants you to continue to work with all the resources you have, whether it's him, Uncle Alan, other ancestors that you're working with or accessing. So I think this is saying really it's about the journey, that you will be working with all these people, and that maybe the answers won't always be apparent, but you're always going to be working towards them.
Well, okay, I was just wondering, because in the beginning I thought you said that she wasn't going to be, she had to do this on her own or find it within, and now...
Well, I don't know that it was that so much as just saying that the answer wasn't readily apparent, that it was, something you would have to find. Whether you find it on your own or not, I mean, I think it's a given that you work well with your spirit partners. So I sort of agree with the idea, moving to the Lenormand, though, that this is saying as an ongoing journey of work, of looking for the answers, of having to do that mostly on your own, on the physical plane, but with the spirit plane there, it's going to be little steps, small irritating things, and eventually, working towards that success, though.
Okay, I still think this is really fitting in with this, and sort of like really going in, and maybe what this is saying is that you probably have one already, but I'm just going to reiterate this if you don't, that, you're going to have to maybe do more focused time for some real meditation and grounding, and also focus time to really, in this process, do the soul searching that is necessary to come up with some solutions. I feel here, ultimately, that little things have just added up to cause some of the problems you've had, and that they're very fixable in time, and just keep working at it. And Demi thinks you're doing, I feel, a good job. So, I don't think you have to worry about that, because this is a good card to have here. But I do feel he thinks you need to really, go within more and do some serious soul searching. And that's what we have for you. Good luck with that. Well, that's our show. And that's our show for a week. We will miss you on here. We will hopefully have my video come out according to Mr. O. And we will be at happy hour on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you a single card positive message, at least for your week ahead. So join us for that, and check out our content on social media. That will still be out there. I will be around keeping up the social media and doing some things around the house here while Mr. O's attending his conference. So take care, everybody, and thanks for a great evening, and we hope to see you real soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.